talk politics. Now, what is it that is on the front burner? Quite a number of things, is on the front burner. If we are talking about Yahya Bello, reporting himself of being detained by the EFCC over the 80 billion naira fraud alleged, as it stands. Well, that's one of it to look at it. And of course, the PH refinery, the Port Harcourt refinery, coming aboard and beginning to have, is it about 150,000 truckloads or something? Nigerians jubilating right there. While some also are having mixed reaction, in the general populace, quite a number of persons saying, hey, let's not rejoice yet, because until we begin to see these things, have an evocative, positive feel on our living standards, as well as affect every other thing in terms of pricing and all of that, then can we say we are rejoicing. But well, a good thing is a good thing. Rejoicing is rejoicing, and we must rejoice and celebrate, because it's not all about destroying an administration. Nobody has that time, especially not Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja, and of course you being a family member. The idea is to talk and allow for those who make the big rhetorics to stand by the rhetorics and not just give it to us as mere rhetorics, right? To ensure that we move this country, to the other side, to the permanent side, to the place where we can boldly say, in unity we stand, and that divided we will fall. And because we don't want to fall divided, we want to stand unified. But then, even while standing unified, there will be different perspectives, and that should be respected, right? As family members, that is what is obtainable. But we could also get it from the place of the CBN, raising the MPR again, while some experts are saying that should not be the way forward. There is a lot to talk about, but remember and recall that as of yesterday, there was an information about the fact that we would be having the budget presentation and all of that, by today, which quite a number of people are saying that it's a bit too late, it's too delayed, to the Nigerian society, especially when it has to do with everything. You and I know that budgeting is the allocation of, a projected allocation of resources or funds that should pilot the affairs of a country within a specific period of time. And we are still grappling with the 2024 budget system right there, with some borrowing that is to be made, about to the tune of 1.17 trillion naira now? I guess, right? Dollars, I beg your pardon, right? This is the tune of it. And Nigerians are really talking. You and I, we're talking about it and all of that. While some are saying that, hey, this will not be a step in the right direction. Others are saying that might just be the way forward. Let's just, finish with 2024 and so we're done with it. But less than how many days to the end of the year, or the fiscal year, if you like, and borrowing? Well, all this throughout this week, we've been very, very particular about the economy, because we've come to understand that, look, if the economy is not properly placed, there is no way that we can indeed find, a new trajectory for the country, because the economy seemingly happens to be like the motherboard that, carries each and every one of us, one way or the other, whether you're part of the formal sector or the informal sector. But let me begin as a background by giving a quotable quote. The authors are unknown, but I feel these are quotes that is very relevant to the topical, topic for discourse this morning. The budget is not just a statement of financial intentions. It is a reflection of our values and priorities as a nation. The other quote would be, a delayed budget is a delayed vision for the future. Now, it is imperative that we prioritize transparency, accountability, and fiscal discipline in our budget process to ensure a brighter future for all Nigerians. Now, the authors to these are typically unknown, right? Nigeria's 2025 budget presentation, delay and controversy, is what we are opening it up as a chapter this morning. Now, the delay in presenting Nigeria's 2025 budget is, of present concern, with far-reaching implications for the country's economic planning and development. Well, as you also mentioned, and as you also know, Nigeria's economy is already struggling with high inflation rates. I mean, a large trade deficit, a significant, reliance on oil exports, the delayed budget presentation as well create uncertainty for businesses and investors, and this is making it a challenging time for them to plan and make informed decisions. Now, according to the Fiscal Responsibility Act, that is the FRA of 2007, you would recall that the president should have submitted the appropriation bill to the National Assembly as at September 30th of 2024. However, as of November 26, 2024, the bill has not been presented. Well, the delay has been attributed to quite a number of things, but it has significant implications, one of such for the country's financial, planning. And experts have argued that an attempt to fast-track the process could lead to ministries, departments, and agencies, in certain projects outside their mandates, which will, of course, resultantly result to a waste of public resources. Now, the proposed 2025 budget is about 47.9 trillion naira, with a crude oil price benchmark of $75, per barrel, an exchange rate of 1,400 naira to the dollar, and a GDP growth target of 4.6%. Right. However, the delay in presenting the budget is raising some very, very critical concerns about the government's ability to achieve, these targets. I mean, to mitigate these negative effects, there's a need for the government to somewhat prioritize transparency and accountability within the budget process, and this, of course, can be achieved by providing regular updates on budget implementation and expenditures, as well as engaging, relevant stakeholders, even the public, you and I, through town hall meetings and other forums, which quite a number of people are saying, that is now a thing of the past. We don't see any town hall meetings. And during the Buhari administration, I think we saw the then Minister of Information, right? Always once or twice, they hosted a town hall meeting where conversations have been held. That will be, is it the Lai Mohammeds and all of that? Yeah, but now, do we really see a lot of those town hall meetings? And quite a number of people, of Nigerians, are saying that, look, if you're talking about engaging the people and allowing for the people to once again begin to revamp the trust in governance and government, that it will be necessary to bring it to the grassroots. But could this be something that the federal government should be handling, or is it something that a local government would handle, especially now that we have had local government autonomy? Well, we don't know. Quite a number of thought lines, coming in that direction. But then, yes, it is important now to also look into this. Additionally, government should also focus on fiscal discipline and as well manage, public finances effectively. And that is the point. This includes reducing debt and increasing revenue, as well as ensuring that budget allocations indeed will align with the country's economic developmental goals. Now, we will also talk about diversification, as quite a number of persons are saying that diversification could actually let Nigeria reduce our dependency on oil exports. Now, it's no news anymore. We all know that the government can promote economic, diversification by as well allocating funds to, supporting key sectors such as the agriculture, manufacturing, and services. It is indeed a topical issue in discourse, and we will be having our guest, joining via phone call, in a short bit. But then the presentation of the Nigeria's 2025 budget, is also a topic of deep controversy in recent days. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu was initially expected to present the budget proposal to a joint session of the National Assembly as at Wednesday, November 27, 2024, being today. However, the National Assembly management has debunked this report, stating that the National Assembly is yet to approve the 2024 to 2026 medium term expenditure framework and fiscal strategy paper, MTEF and FSP, forwarded to both chambers of the National Assembly by the president. So Nigeria has a history of delayed budget presentations, and which have often led to controversy and so much criticism In 2020, let me take you back. The budget presentation was delayed due to disagreements between the executive and the legislative arms of government. You remember that, right? Similarly, if you take it to 2022 as well, the budget presentation was delayed due to the absence of key stakeholders. Now, the delay in presenting a 2025 budget has raised concerns about the economic planning and development for the country. Nigeria's economy is indeed in a struggling state recently with high inflation rates. You and I know that. A large trade deficit and the reliance on oil exports is just killing. Is just continuously killing. Now, one question that will be standing out there would be, what are the implications of the delayed budget presentation on Nigeria's economic planning and development? I would want you to think about it. You are a business owner right there. You've got, that business floating it, and you've got people under you. And if you're a business planner, you would know that every fiscal year there's a need to plan, right, for your business. If you're going to take a loan, what you're going to do, what you're going to be spending on, and how you're going to channel the resources, the financial resources into ensuring that there is a sustainable, accountable, as well as transparent business process for you. That way, you know where your pros and your cons are. But then this is dwindling if this is not presented. It's more like we are on a pathway, but we do not have the torch, the light, the beamer of light to give us direction. Right, so it serves as a direction for the upcoming year. Now, it is also very important, right, to also bring to the fact that. Let me just give you an instance. For example, you're a business owner, right, and you wish you're wanting to look into the budget, or how is the budget affecting your business plans. One of such would be the fact that you would want to know what to expect in terms of government spending and policies, right? And the uncertainty is creating some sort of anxiety and making it difficult for us to make, informed decisions. Take it to the family too as well. Every family, especially the man being the head of the house, has to always, give that budget, right there. They have to sit back with their spouse, their significant other, to saying, hey, this is how we are going to run this family for the next year. I think these are the plans that we're putting in place. So simple short, long story cut short, the budgetary system, or the budget itself, is very important in its presentation, and it should be presented as and when due, right? Any delays can have an adverse effect, on the lives of the people of the country of Nigeria. But then let's introduce our guest already, because he is in the person of Mr. Agaba. Wilson Agaba. He is a business financial consultant as well as a public affairs analyst, and he's going to be adding his voice in the discourse in a short bit as we go engaging. But I'd like to also want to know from you, what your thoughts are. At some point, we saw the presentation of the budget, and at some other point, just a matter of how many hours now? Just few hours, we saw that there's a withdrawal in the statement of presentation of the budget. But do you think that this will have any adverse effect on us as a people? Or do you think that, well, anyways, it doesn't matter when we are presenting the budget. It doesn't matter when it comes upstream. The place should be the place of accountability. The place should be the place of transparency. The place should be the place of resourcefulness of the budget in itself. Well, good morning to you, Mr. Agaba Wilson Agaba.
Good morning, UD. How are you doing today?
I'm fine, thank you. Feels good to hear your voice this morning.
Yeah.
Right. Well, we're talking the budget's presentation. I mean, yesterday we saw that there was supposed to be some sort of presentation for the budget. And then again, we saw again very briskly that there is a withdrawal where, is it the... okay, let me just put it this way. The National Assembly management coming out to debunking reports that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu will present a 2025 budget proposal to a joint session of the National Assembly on Wednesday, being today. But the Secretary of Research and Information of at the National Assembly, Dr. Ali Barde Umoru, had initially confirmed the budget presentation whilst the National Assembly management is denying this report. Now, the National Assembly, from what we have on our table, is yet to approve the 2024-2026 medium-term expenditure framework and fiscal strategy paper forwarded to both chambers of the National Assembly by the President. Now, the MTEF and FSP, right, proposes a total expenditure profile of 26.1 trillion naira for the 25-25 fiscal year. So what do you think about this back and forth, the delays, which quite a number of people believe might just be a setback for a 2025 outlook for Nigeria?
I actually have been under the impression that the current government has a good relationship with the National Assembly. But this coming out now is signaling a different thing. It wasn't that bad in 2024, the 2024 budget presentation. I think it was a bit seamless, maybe because they were just settling it. But this time around, the back and forth shows that there is a bit of misunderstanding between the executive and the parliament. And I don't think that should be, because the budgeting process is a comprehensive process that is supposed to involve a lot of consultation and reason before figures are put to paper. And if proper consultation was done from the beginning, I don't think we should be having issue of back and forth, key stakeholders not available, or we have not approved MTech and all of that. MTech, of course, is the medium-term framework that from which we draw the annual budget. And I'm wondering, why is it still hanging by this time? Well, in a democracy, everything is lobbying, and I think that the executive should up its game and fix the issues that are there with the parliament. Of course, it doesn't make sense for us to still be discussing whether a budget is going to be presented in November. You know, this budget needs to be scrutinized properly and then, vetted before it is passed. So if we submit it, say sometimes in December, the Senate will soon, the National Assembly will soon go on recession for the year. They will come back in January before we start deliberating on it and all of that. So I think that the lobbying prowess of the executive wasn't so at its greatest point this time around. We have always had a history of passing budget late until the Buhari administration came in and did all it could to try to reduce the delay in passing budget. I think we are spiraling back into that time again. The president should do more. He call his team together and ask them what's going on and give them a matching order to fix things so that this budget can be presented.
Well, talking about giving marching orders, right? Where some Nigerians were beginning to lose faith in the president's political will, the president has shown beyond any reasonable doubt that his word is his bond, especially when looking at not by means of deviation though, where we have seen the Port Harcourt refinery, coming up to speed, up and running, and all of that with about 150,000 truckloads, build to be thrown into the general populace, into the market and all of that. And this has brought jubilation. Now, the president has given a marching order to the NNPC saying that, now that we have seen a Port Harcourt refinery working, there should be a Warri refinery working, a Kaduna refinery working. Now, the reason for me for saying this would be the fact that the president has shown that he has, a role to play in terms of giving, a marching order right there. But then, do you think that, what will be your thoughts, basically, especially when we look at the fact that this entire process can be seen from an economic factor where the delay in presenting the 2025 budget has raised concerns about the country's economic planning and development. I mean, Nigeria's economy has been struggling in recent years. I mean, due to high inflation rates, a large trade deficit, and a significant reliance on, oil exports. Now, this is seeing it from the economic factors. How do you think, or how will the delayed budget presentation impact Nigeria's economic growth and development? And do you think there are any measures that can be taken to mitigate any negative effects?
Okay. To start with, a delay in budget is a delay in economic activities within the country.
Right.
Government spending has a bearing on many business activities within the country. And these business activities generate revenue for both the populace and the government in forms of tax. So, when budgets are not approved, government, although the law has made a provision where government can spend based, in a very minimal and technical way, but of course it makes it difficult for entities within the economy to actually plan their businesses properly. And when you are unable to plan a business properly, you are setting yourself up to fail. So it is important that the government always ensure that budgets are passed. Now, setting assumptions in the budget will become also the benchmark for business planning for all the businesses within the country. And then let's take, for instance, some of the organizations that are doing contracts that, exceed 1 year with the government. Maybe construction of Kaduna-Kano Road, or maybe construction of a railway and all of that. These monies are not released to them at once. The amount that you can do in a year is quantified and paid to you. In the next year's budget, you are going to have that amount available and paid to you also. Now, and disbursed to you. Let's use the word disbursed.
Right.
If these budgets are not passed, these people cannot be mobilized to continue their work. The infrastructure will be delayed. And if it is delayed, the role that infrastructure is supposed to play in the economy to help it grow will also be delayed. Now, I have also mentioned that businesses will be unable to plan well if they can't get government benchmark to use as their own benchmark in planning their businesses. And not to mention that we are a country that is in huge deficit of infrastructure that should be racing aggressively, putting infrastructures in place. Yet, we are unable to deliver our budget on time. In fact, this one is the issue of delayed budget. The other one is the issue of implementation, which I believe will be the discussion for another day.
Right.
But failure of full implementation becomes imminent when the passing of the budget is delayed. If we pass budget in, say, February or March, 2 months have gone, or 3 months have gone, before we start trying to implement. Mark you, this budget is not like an amount of money that is sitting somewhere in the bank, where you are just giving out a plan of how to spend it. It has to do with a plan on how to raise this money and utilize it. So when the budget is not passed, the revenue organizations that are tasked with raising this revenue cannot go to work.
Right.
So to say.
Yeah, right. But
So
when
these are implications.
right. But when we look at
Now,
it from the when we look at it, okay,
I want to go into how can we prevent this delay.
exactly.
The executive is generally saddled with the responsibility of drawing up the draft of the budget for the National Assembly or the Parliament to verify and, approve. Then the President signs it into law. Now, look at the setup of our country today. We have a whole ministry dedicated to national budget and planning. And that ministry has been in existence since the beginning of the lifetime of this administration. So what is it that is delaying our budget? I expect that there should be a framework that this ministry is coordinating that allows them to have a budget ready in good time, maybe in September. Now the administration has said 1 year. You can use that 1 year as a benchmark to draft your budget. And then we have a National Assembly, a special advisor of National Assembly matter. The president has a liaison in the National Assembly. So why are these consultations not going on while the other budget is being implemented?
Right.
What is delaying it? This consultation, if we are able to carry on with it, and the Ministry of Budget and Planning and whatever agencies that are there again, revenue, fiscal allocation, and the rest of them work hand in hand so that they are gathering data as the year goes by, week by week, month by month. By September, we should be able to have a budget. And then the passing of our budget shouldn't be causing commotion because the adequate consultation is done. And this has to deal with this, go back to the issue of institutional framework. Having institutional integrity, sustainable institutions, and institutions that are strong enough to do their job. Yes, we hear this kind of problems in other countries, including the USA. But it doesn't get them off the track. So I think if we utilize what we already have, it's not something we should go and spend money. We have a Minister of Budget and Planning. We have revenue allocation and all those people. We have all those agencies that are on ground. People are paid already. Let's have a framework that they can use to gather data day in, day out, so that we have a target. By the end of every August, we should have a draft of our budget. And so that worst case scenario, by October, the budget is already in the National Assembly. And they expect it till like November. And then worst case scenario, in December before they proceed, it is passed.
All right, well,
We can make conscious effort and solve this problem.
Let's put it back to your thought there. Open the phone lines and hear from our family members as they also, give us their thoughts on the delay in the budget, presentation, as it were. Now, joining the conversation, you can call 0907 353 0044 or 0908 766 8888. However, you can send a WhatsApp message, strictly WhatsApp message, to 0909 705 4450 as we go engage in the discourse this morning. How do you think the budget, system or delay is affecting you or could affect Nigeria? And what prospects are there for, programs that have been scheduled to be ongoing regardless of the year, right? Do you think that would be affecting these programs in a negative or positive way? Hello and good morning.
Good morning, Odua.
Good morning to you, Elder Onaja.
Elder Onaja is my name.
You're calling from Cuba.
I'm calling from Cuba in Abuja.
Very well. Let's get to your thoughts.
There is no division between National Assembly and then the presidency. They are just a representative. The only way we want us to hear them, so they are talking. There is no division there. The money he sent that night saying he's going to borrow the second day they are to him. Then capture that money. Whether they delay it until next year is not going to affect us as a common people because we benefit nothing from the government. And then somebody should call and tell me what is benefiting from government now. Those people selling the government out, if they call and tell us which benefit we are benefiting from the government. They only pass the budget and then they use it for their own use. Nothing. They say, tell me which program the government has now. CNG, that guy CNG where they are talking. We carry Sienna 88 model to CNG station. To put that guy, they tell us 1.3 million. That's 1.3 million. If they are keeping, can't I buy petrol with it? They are celebrating about a Paracot referral now. How much they spend there? And then how much are they going to sell the petrol to us? The politicians have nothing to do for Nigeria. They only make us to talk. Somebody will tell me, say, since where this government comes to power, which one is gain? More than to try. So if they delay it until next year, nothing concerning a proper farmer there. We are getting nothing. The project where they are saying somebody should call us and tell us this is the project the government is doing. Then bring the economists where they bring. We tell them say they can't manage Nigeria. But people came and say they have managed Lagos, they have managed this and this. Lagos is just a state. What's the rate of Naira now? What's the rate of Naira now in the market? The price of petrol what? They remove subsidy that they are not going to borrow again. But now they are borrowing. There's nothing they are going to do politicians in Nigeria. There's nothing they are going to do to public. They only do it to their own pocket. Thank you very much. God bless Nigeria.
Thank you, Elder Onaja, for that one. Elder Onaja saying that, well, what are we benefiting already? That he doesn't think that the budget, whether the budget is allocated now or is presented now or not, that it won't affect the poor masses. It might just be, the same old story. But well, Mr. Agaba, let's just go on this very quick, break and pay some bills. We will come back and you will have your right to say, to some of these thought line. Right? Yes. This is Eagles Outlook, and we're still talking about the controversies that trails the 2025 budgets on Nigeria's 2025 budget presentation, the delay and the controversies that surround it. Don't go away.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja. Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
Wow, this feature phone is so good.
Which phone is that?
It is the itel IT5627. It comes with a 2500 mAh battery, which gives you 55 hours of standby use. Type-C charger, triple SIM slot, 3.0-inch screen, plus a 24 months warranty of worry-free use.
Huh? 24 months warranty?
Yes! Go and get yours. itel IT5627. New itel, new experience.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
Please listen to this infomercial.
Hello Nigeria. Hello Africa. Do you want to work in the healthcare sector? Do you want to be a trained, certified nursing assistant, medical assistant, or caregiver? If yes, then register to enroll for Push Africa's 1-year diploma in certified nursing assistant training happening at the African University College of Science and Technology, Abuja. Targeted trainees are unemployed graduates, O-level or ordinary diploma graduates, or anyone interested in working as a support worker in the healthcare sector. For details, log on to www.pushafrica.org or WhatsApp 080-339-42015, 080-550-45801, 080-339-42015, 080-550-45801. For registration, pick up application form at our partner radio stations or visit the reception at the African University of Science and Technology, Abuja.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
I don't need no liquor. I'm intoxicated by you.
My country people, who work is supposed to enjoy you after all the hustle. You not supposed to take your comfort play to fit sleep the way it's supposed to be. Make you go grab your Eurofoam mattress. Make you forget your full comfort. Whether na Euro Spring, Euro Orthopedic, or semi-orthopedic, Diamond and Diamond Plus. And for Comfort Pro Max, Eurofoam don't introduce latest in town. That na Euro Elite. This one, they sleep jolly meant no get equal. Eurofoam get quality pillows and sheetings. Eurofoam shop yakpa everywhere for Bodo Nigeria. Eurofoam, sleep the way it's
Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja, here to stay.
You're tuning in and locked on to Eagles Outlook right here on Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja, where we give you an audio-visual radio experience that you can count on anytime, any day. And we're still looking at the 2025 budget presentation, the delays and the controversy, as our guest, who's in the person of Mr. Agaba, Wilson Agaba, who's a business financial consultant and public affairs analyst, is on standby via phone call as we engage this discourse this morning. You want to add your voice in the discourse. 0907 353 0044 is that number to call, and you can as well send a WhatsApp portal message to the WhatsApp portal number 0909 705 4450. And then let's get to take this message from a family member right now via the WhatsApp, and this one is coming from Turkenby Hundo. Right now, he says, "Good morning, Daniel. Good morning to you. Listening from Nasarawa State. Thank you. We appreciate." It says, we've seen budgets under PDP, not too huge, but we saw the impact. But starting from Buhari with trillions of naira budgets in system, yet Nigerians feel little or no impact. I want to ask your guest how federal government intended to spend a loan of 1.3 trillion naira in 4 weeks. Turkenby Hundu is saying that right there. Mr. Agaba, are you there? Hello?
I'm here.
All right. So, yeah, there's been a speculation, and of course, Turkenby Hundu is asking the question, saying that, hey, how can we even spend a 1.17 or 1.73 something trillion naira, loan that the president had requested for, which is supposed to finance the 2024 budget, as it were. And Elder Onajo had also brought in, gave his own thoughts on the matter of whether or not the 2025 delay budget presentation will affect the masses. He says he doesn't think so, that because the politicians do not really think or consider or have at heart the yearnings of the people. How do you respond to this?
Okay, to the first one, how I believe, if I heard him well, was trying to find out how the government is going to spend the loan of 1.7 trillion that they are asking in the remaining few weeks of the year, right?
Mm-hmm.
For that is not that one is not an issue. What we should rather do is to figure out where are they spending it, because of course, since we evaluated the naira, valued the naira, the cost of existing projects has been going up. So if a project was set at 750 naira to a dollar before, and now it's 1,730 naira to a dollar, that money definitely will not be sufficient again, because most of the components of some of these projects comes from abroad. So we will review the project and up the cost of it. So government could need this kind of loan to augment the extra cost. And there are some other government costs that may come up as we move along, that can come up. So it's not a matter of, give us this money by hand and then we are going to start spending it by today, by tomorrow. No, it's usually to plug it somewhere that there's a loophole. So that's not a big deal. I think what we need to do in this case is to ask those NGOs, media, and the rest to shine the light on that money, on how it's going to be used, and we can see it.
Right.
So that's not a big amount of money for government to spend within the time. It's usually to block people, like I mentioned.
All right.
But we need to shine light on it. Then the other side, whether the delay in budget will affect the masses, the answer is yes. Even if we assume that this money will be approved and looted, even those that loot it will eventually spend it. They will build their houses. Africans will go and work there and they will get money. Women that are selling mama food will go there to sell food and they will get money. That lady that is supplying stones and stone dust will make money. The person that is supplying blocks will make money. And the person that are those people that are employed in the block industry will make money. Somebody will drive the truck, the owner of the truck that transports blocks from one place to the other will make money. Person that is retailing cement will make money. So it will definitely affect the masses whichever way it goes. And if the government spends it well on infrastructure, of course, if you used to go from Abuja to say Enugu on a bad road and they charge you 25,000 because the cost will include the cost of maintaining their vehicle and the time it takes to get to Enugu. If the road is better, then they can go at a less cost, at a less time, and they might be able to reduce price for you, which will affect how much you buy products in the market, because things that are moved from Abuja to Enugu and Enugu to Abuja, for instance, become cheaper because the movement on the road is better. If it is train that we now have from Lagos to Kano or Lagos to Sokoto, for instance, things that are grown in Sokoto can move easily to Lagos and at a cheaper rate without anybody taxing you on the road, including those our very friendly friends who ask for 200, 500 here and there. That increases the cost of transporting goods. So it will definitely affect the masses, whichever way it goes. So it is important for the budget to be passed in good time.
All right, it's important for the budget to be passed in good time right there. Let's go take this call. Hello and good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Odua.
Yes, good morning to you, please. Is this Honorable Edwards?
Yes, my name is Honorable Edwards.
Right. All right, talk to us, Honorable.
Thank you so much.
Yes, please.
You see, budget. Honestly speaking, I am taking from the serious because I've been in the corporations for more than 10 years with the National Assembly.
Okay.
I know the secret. I know what is happening in this country. What is the benchmark? If you are to present budget now, forget about there is a little misunderstanding between the executive and the legislature. Agree. That is true. Something is going on. There are some of us who are not part of it, who are not, the legislature or the executive, we are not aware. Because you can't imagine what is today's debt. The budget is not yet presented. When will these people take their time and go through this budget and send it to committee and then harmonize? It definitely is affecting the entire system, and the system is not good. As in what is happening in this country, it is 100% wrong. And then you are bringing in a reform. When will this budget be passed? Must we continue taking budget, extending budget, National Assembly extending budget? Do you know that as it stands, how many budgets are we having at hand that are running? How many budgets? If you ask me, who is it? I don't even know. It says we have so many budgets and we want to increase again. What is happening? Some of us, today is my good day, but some of us, when we look at what is happening in this country, at times we get tired. Imagine the EFCC saying they arrested Yaboro. Where did they arrest him? What is actually happening in this country? Mr. President to present this budget. The budget is coming from the executive. It has nothing to do with the region. The region will look at it. And that is how government is wrong. Thank you. God bless you.
All right. Thank you, Honorable Edwards, right there. All righty. Well, the conversation is still trending right here, and this is Eagles Outlook on Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja, where we give you an audio-visual radio experience that you can count on anytime, any day. Might I also indulge you to get across social media platforms right there, specifically Facebook and YouTube at Eagles FM Abuja, and discover the ambience of the studio. Let's take this call and then we'll get back with you. Hello and good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning to you, please. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Dokama.
Udokama, where are you calling from? Feels good to hear your voice again.
I'm calling from Otakoma.
All right, let's get into it, Udokama.
Mr. Yubi.
Yes, please.
You believe me that since administration of APC from 2015, me as a person, I have not seen any projects that affected the masses. I know before now that when they pass a budget, you will see turn around in the market. You will see people touching money. But from 2015 to date, I don't even know where they pass the budget. I don't know where they keep the money. You see, the infrastructure they are talking about, I don't even know where they're talking about. Because I travel so much a lot. I have not seen any place that the federal government have touched that I would say this is what they have achieved. So all this budget, I think it's something is wrong somewhere. It is either they are budgeting for themselves or they are taking what they budget for us to another country. Like our former president has been budgeting and consulting Niger. And today Niger is enjoying and we are here suffering on the bad news. I don't know. It's bad that even up to now they cannot say that they have the budget is set for next year, and we are already November is ending. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Dokama, for that one very passionately right there. Well, Mr. Agaba, you can hear the thoughts of the family members right there in this regard. I mean, some thought line. One of such would be the fact that hey. From the body language and the tonal reference of Nigerians, is it sane to say that we are losing touch and losing trust, even in the budgetary system and processes in the country? That's on the one side. And secondly, when we look at, is it the 47.6 trillion naira budgets for 2025, as proposed and all of that? Do you think that it will bring succor to Nigerians, especially when we look at some of the ongoing projects and programs that are meant to ameliorate the sufferings of Nigerians?
Well, I think one thing we all know is that over the years, our government have not been this fit to communicate properly. And they usually don't feel that the masses are part of the project or part of the stakeholders that can help them achieve the goals they set. The job of fixing this country and taking it to the level where it should be is not that of leadership alone, but a combination of leadership and the followership. But if you are leading and the followers cannot see clearly where you are headed and their role in helping you get there, how can they help? So there's always this gap of information which eventually degenerates into misinformation. And that's what you're having today. So the government does not communicate at all. This particular government has not even done better in terms of communication. In fact, some of us who are in the space of analyzing public affairs and all this, we have to scratch to be able to get information and to understand the direction of the government. How much more the common man on the street? So I understand. If you don't communicate, there will be mistrust. And if there is mistrust, people become very hard to lead. So I agree with the populace when they say they don't see the impact of the government and they don't trust the government.
Right.
I think that on the part of the government, at all levels, they should try and communicate more. They should coordinate with media houses. Social media has even made it possible for them. They can have handles where they dispose their information, they can make videos and all of that without necessarily paying any media house anymore. Before, it used to cost a lot of money to do that. But now, social media have made it easy for them. Create the handles, make them public, and then dispose your information there for people to look at. And then you can have people at every level who can continue to have town hall meetings to explain your policies to people. What it means, what they need to do, what they will benefit if it is well implemented and all of that. You put that foot forward. Tell them to trust you and then make well on your promise of trust. And then they'll continue to build on it. The government has not been doing well in communicating at all.
Right. Okay. Well, let's go take this call. Hello and good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning to you, please. What's your name? Where you calling from?
My name is GB. Let me start from where you're getting.
GB, where are you calling from?
The government are not. I'm calling from Wuse.
All right.
That the government has not been communicating well.
Right.
Well, you may say no. You may say not enough. It has been doing well. When somebody come and say from 2050 to now, you do not see what APC government have done. The railway from Lagos to Abeokuta, who consulted it? They've been running. They have been seeing it. The railway from Lagos to Ibadan, who consulted it? From Itakwe to Warri, who consulted the railway? In Abuja here, we see what government have done in our infrastructure. Many this government came in. You need to go to social media to tell that the road for all the in Abuja. There are about 4 or 5 BBB in Abuja today. 4 or 5 BBB that started with this government. There are many that have been completed. The period of Buhari have been completed. Let's leave that aside. When it comes to budget, what people are concerned about is even the media make it worse. They will say government budget also billion for cake, for wine. They never tell the populace these are not budgeted for roads, infrastructure, and the rest. But because they want that sensational news, they focus on the goody on the pepper and the soup being cooked in villa by government. But you will not see the NRS for power. It also has been budgeted for power is also placed, the road will not place. Let me tell you today.
Right.
I travel over I start from Nigeria. Right from Turkey till Benue, it's a smooth road. Who did it? Now from Makodi now to Enugu, they are working Sunday. People also they are working. Construction road there. I mean, there are projects all over Nigeria that are being used in money for. And if the government goes to the National Assembly, they want to borrow money now. People are saying how many days to end the year. Some budgets have been completed. You want to tell them. Some will sent beyond this year. They need to mobilize to size. So it doesn't mean anytime government wants to take money, we say only we use the money for. The information are there. People close their eyes against false information, against good information. But the propagate and the negative information is what it's about.
All right,
government is doing enough on the subject. There are many radio, many programs on TV that the government projects going on all over Nigeria. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, JB, for that one. Says the government is doing a lot in ensuring that, in infrastructural development and all that. But Mr. Agaba, you've heard all of the, angles to this discourse this morning. What will be your final thoughts, in this?
Overall,
yes,
I think the government should. Well, let me start with the president because he has a lot of power.
Right.
He should give the marching order, and then I think he should call all the agencies that are relevant to putting budgets together and tell them by next year, I want my budget ready by August. How you are going to do it, I don't know, but you must show me a framework so that by August, I will have my budget. And I'm going to ask you incrementally every month, show me where you are with your draft. Every month, show me where you are. You have a framework and you are updating it. Then the president should also call his liaison in the National Assembly. Let's say on National Assembly matters and all of that, and tell them, how did we come here? I don't want this to happen next year. So that's your consultation now and see how things go. We need to push. And it all lies on the president. If he moves, everybody behind him will move.
Okay.
If he doesn't move, he will wait for him to move. So it is important for us to work consciously towards making our budget come out in good time so that it can be approved as well.
Many thanks.
Government should also communicate better.
Okay.
Communicate better.
Okay.
It is their job to communicate. People will not go and look for good things about you. People only look for the bad things about you to spread around. You have to make effort to talk about the good things about you. So it is the onus of the government to do that.
Right.
Like the last caller said, he's well traveled, so he has been able to see those things. There are some people who have not left their end place for the past 5 years. How would they know something is happening somewhere? How would they know the impact of those things on them? Unless they listen to radio like we are listening today, and people like you and I are trying to educate them on it.
Right.
So it is up to the government to keep talking. Our people say, if you are stealing real roasted yam for a blind man, you must continue to whistle, so that he will not think that you are eating his yam. That is why you are quiet.
Thank you. All right, thank you so much, though, Mr. Agaba, Wilson Agaba. You are a business financial consultant and public affairs analyst. Thank you for adding your voice in the discourse today. Right. And this is where we draw the curtains, but not without saying a big thank you to you two for being a part of the discourse. I mean, you're still trying to get through, because there's a lot to say about the budget, presentation and the impact of the budget, especially when it comes from the delay and its controversies that surround it. But then you've not been able to pull through. But thank you, far too kind. Tomorrow is yet another time. I would indulge you to join the discourse, 9 a.m. tomorrow. Be early, be apt, and of course, let's talk Nigeria and talk politics, because the truth is the power is in the people and politics is what we address. My name is Udwak Daniel. Have a nice day, and remember, at 10 o'clock, Midday Extra Show will be coming on through. Don't go away.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
This is Eagles 102.3 News, your number one radio experience.